Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Friday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. Hey, remember, love, man, tonight's the free Friday night clinic every Friday during the high school football season. Our friends over at Brock, awesome thing that they do. They offer a free Friday night clinic for any football player, band member, cheerleader, anybody that might need to get checked out by a doctor after the Friday night lights. So great service that they provide. Make sure you help spread the word. Something they've been doing since I was a player. So it's been 25 years at least. brortho.com to learn more. And of course, Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. Tell you more about unique physique and restored motions here in just a quick second. Of course, we appreciate y'all for hanging out with us as always. Couple things there on the docket. What a game on Thursday Night Football. As disgusting as it is to cheer for Atlanta, I would say cheer against Tampa maybe more so. You needed Atlanta to win that game to pull Tampa back in the division. So it's actually a good thing that Atlanta won that game. So now the Saints have a chance if they can go to Kansas City and get a win to pull within a three-way tie in the division. So, what a crazy ending to that game. I mean, Tampa looked like they had the game won twice. But turnovers, man. Turnovers are killer. And Atlanta forced overtime and then won it in overtime on a broken tackle and a house call. So anyway, okay. And then also I have in the description about Nussmeier. I don't know if y'all saw this. Talked about an AFR, but I think it's I actually have it on today's Locked On LSU as well. But Garrett, I saw a mock draft yesterday from Yahoo Sports. Garrett Nussmeier they have him projected as the 10th overall pick in the draft. 10th overall. That not 10th quarterback, the 10th overall pick in the draft. He started 5 career games, or 6, I guess now. 5 this season, 1 in the bowl game. He started 6 career games. Him as the 10th overall pick. It's early. I get that. But man, I keep having this point, if you're LSU, do you want, well, let me rephrase. Not do you want. I know there's a lot of LSU fans that are very excited about seeing Bryce Underwood next year, and that's awesome. I'm very excited about him too and his future in Baton Rouge and how that's all going to look. But if you have an opportunity to get a 5th-year senior back and your starting quarterback returning, you absolutely do that. So as excited as we are about Bryce Underwood, and we should be, but I want Garrett Nussmeier back. Nussmeier. Sorry, I was saying, I kind of blend, as I was looking at the Paris logo, I blended Garrett and Paris. It was like Garish Nussmeier. Hold on. I have not had my first sip of coffee. Hold on. This makes everything better in my brain. Hang on. Of course you want Garrett Nussmeier back. Okay. God, come on, guys. Trivia Carter, good morning. Wendell Norman, good morning. Jerry G, good morning. Good morning. Brian Penton, good morning. Taylor from Michigan. Jerry's disgusted. Jerry, I get it. I would say don't cheer for the Falcons, cheer against Tampa. Because now listen, I had money on Tampa, so the sharp side was Tampa, and I was, happy to cash that ticket. But Tampa's win, Atlanta's win or Tampa's loss means Atlanta and Tampa both now have 2 losses. So the Saints managed to go win on Monday Night Football. then all three teams are tied at 3-2. And then you come home to take on Tampa. So hanging an L on Tampa wasn't a bad thing. Jerry, this is the worst week of my life. Jacob, good morning, Matt. Glad to finally catch Morning Scone live again, working nonstop, get the power back on in my area. All right, Jacob, hope y'all are doing well, man. And we appreciate you for jumping aboard, tuning in when you can, man. Thomas, morning, Matt. Spot on with Locked On. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, y'all check out Locked On if you haven't yet. We talked about Nussmeier, not only the mock first round, but I went through his Heisman odds and like what could be his path to win the Heisman. You might be surprised how closely Nuss's first 5 games this year mirror Jaden's first 5 games a year ago. And I'm just saying it takes something statistically otherworldly if you're not a championship contending team, which LSU still could be. But if you want, I'll tell you this way. If you want Heisman odds on Nussmeier, this is probably a good time to go to get him, because if they beat Ole Miss, he's going to have much shorter odds next week. Or, after, if they beat Ole Miss. If they lose to Ole Miss, already a 2-loss team, and chances of him winning it are just virtually nil. So this might be the best time, the best buy low spot that you have, realistically. Randall, Nuss is absolutely first round pick. The Saints draft him, but I know they won't. I don't know that I would say Nuss is absolutely first round pick, Randall. And I'm not saying that he's not worthy, or I'm not saying he won't be. I don't know that you could say today that he's definitively absolutely first round pick when he started 5 games. How does the rest of the season look? Don't know. How many other quarterbacks emerge as first rounders? For example, in that mock draft I referenced, Jalen Milroe was not a first round pick, but they had Shadur Sanders and who am I blanking on? They had Shadur Sanders. There it is. Oh, by the way, that mock draft had Will Campbell going number 1 overall. I omitted that, which goes to show you how stunning it is to see Nuss at 10. Cam Ward from Miami, there it was. So the first quarterback they had going was Shadur Sanders at 5 overall, which hard to imagine any quarterback slips to 5. The first quarterback off the board at 5. Cam Ward at 8, then Nuss at 10. The other quarterbacks in the draft, I think the only other quarterback they had was Carson Beck at 21. Carson Beck at 21. That was the only quarterbacks they had in round 1. I also had Harold Perkins in round 1 as well at number 30. Interesting. James McKinney, good morning. Oop, wait, hang on. Hey, Patrick, good morning. Cousins carved up the Bucs D. Maybe we'll have more than a puncher's chance against them when we host Friday night college football. So, yeah, Cousins threw for 500 yards last night. That was wild. That was his career high. Jesse, Saints injury list is very long. 15 players on the Saints injury list. I mean, I don't know that I've literally, I'm not, that's not hyperbole. I literally don't think in all the years that I've covered the Saints and done the show that I can remember an injury report with 15 people on it. I mean, you got to keep in mind, you got a 53-man roster. That's almost a third of your roster on the injury report. Like, did you even practice? It's crazy. So Willie Gay, Taysom Hill, Cesar Ruiz, Shane Lemieux, Peyton Turner, Blake Grupe all did not practice Thursday. Demario Davis, Taliesin Fuanga, Kamara, A.T. Perry, Juwan Johnson, Brian Brzee, Kendre Miller, all limited. Olave and Cedric Wilson were both on the injury report as full participants. It's 15 people, bro. I mean, unenviable going on the road to Kansas City, take on the Chiefs if you're going to be that limited. Anyway. Um, okay. Chris, good morning. With all this hubbub about Portnoy allegedly attempting to pull Bryce Underwood, my question is why now? I mean, the kid has been committed for a while and now he cares. I don't know that it's a now he cares thing. By the way, Chris, I don't know if you caught it, but I did talk to Shay about that on Tuesday. And Shay's impression of that whole thing was that Underwood would be targeted, or excuse me, that Portnoy would be targeting um, portal quarterbacks, not necessarily um, a freshman, like a high school quarterback. Um, the thing I can tell you, and I think I mentioned it last week when all the Portnoy stuff happened as well. For those who don't know, Dave Portnoy is the the founder and owner of Barstool, and he said on one of the Barstool podcasts a week ago or so that he'll be Michigan's. He's a Michigan alum. He'll be Michigan's quarterback guy. He'll commit $1 million, $2 million, $3 million bucks a year to get an elite quarterback every year at Michigan. So a lot of people looked and said, "Man, well, Bryce Underwood's from Michigan. Is he going to go try to get Bryce Underwood to flip from LSU?" And I asked Shay about it, and his general feel on that was that it was a more of a portal thing. Hey, Mark, Nussmeier's going to come back senior like Jaden Daniels. The difference, Mark, is Jaden tested the draft waters, but there wasn't. I don't want to see teams weren't high on him, but he's clearly still had room to grow. If Nuss is a projected first round pick, then he should go. Like if you are a projected first round draft pick, you should go. Remains to be seen. Jerry, I wanted Atlanta to lose. Jerry, I always want Atlanta to lose, unless if it's to the benefit of New Orleans. And in this instance, it helped New Orleans to have Tampa lose. Zion looks fit in media day photos. He does, man. Seen that before. Hope he's ready to roll here for 82. Randall, imagine Mickey Loomis drafting Milroe in the first round instead of Nuss. So I don't think, well, first of all, Mickey Loomis doesn't have complete autonomy to draft who he wants, so it wouldn't just be Loomis. Number two, I don't think Jalen Milroe is a first-round quarterback. And number three, I don't think the Saints are drafted a quarterback. I mean, you are financially bound to Derek Carr next year anyway, so everything the Saints do clearly is lining up to try to win now with Derek Carr. Drafting a quarterback doesn't allow you to do that. Hey, Luke, good morning. Hope you'll have a great day. Same to you, Luke. Have a great day, man. Brent, good morning. Kelly Gross, good morning. Garrett, how about Pete Alonso? Saw that first ever go-ahead home run in the ninth inning in a winner-take-all postseason game. So it wasn't the first ever go-ahead homer, Garrett, because Joe Carter hit a go-ahead homer in 93. Mazeroski hit a go-ahead homer in 1960. Yeah, it was 1960. 1960 walk-off in Game 7. So, Aaron Boone, Bucky Dent, we've seen go-ahead homers in the ninth or in extras. The difference is Pete's was the first when the team was trailing. So we've seen it in tie ball games where guys have hit a walk-off. That was the first when a team was trailing in a winner-take-all game in the ninth inning or later. How about that? Wow. Ronnie, good morning. Quentin, good morning. Tiger Diver, good morning. Weston Weaver, good morning. Robert Miller, good morning. Eric, if Bo Nix is a first rounder, I believe Nuss could go top 10. A big part of that, Eric, also depends on the team. But remember, the biggest difference that you're neglecting there with Nix and with Nuss is Bo Nix started 40 college football games. I mean, there was a massive sample size of Bo Nix to know who he was, what he was. I mean, he played in 61 collegiate games. I mean, I don't know how many of those he started, but he played in, I guess those were all starts because he had the fifth year. Yeah. So, I mean, 3 years at Auburn, 2 years at Oregon, played in 61 collegiate games. Like, there's no ambiguity. Like, you knew what Bo Nix, they knew exactly what they were getting with Bo Nix. There is that question about Nuss because, I mean, he's more, you have Mitchell Trubisky, who started one season at North Carolina and went third overall. Could it happen? Sure. But I don't know that I would say that it's what and what with Nix. I don't really like that comp because Nix had played so much. Irfan Sayad Gamal. Oh, God, hang on one second, y'all. I got to go stop Drew's. All right. Chris, with the injuries that always seem to stack up against the Saints, at what point do we look at Ochsner Sports Medicine Partnership under a microscope? You know, man, Chris, there was a time not long ago where, if you remember, there was the Delvin Breaux situation where he argued he was misdiagnosed. There was another player that argued they were misdiagnosed, and the Saints switched up their team docs. Chip Bankston from Brock, as a matter of fact, was the Saints team physician. Like, he was the one that traveled with the team, and when somebody got hurt, ran out on the field and everything. He's not doing that anymore, by the way. Chip's now with LSU. But I don't know that it's necessarily that, Chris, because physicians are obviously going to treat athletes after they are injured. They're going to perform surgery and all that. The surgeons will operate on the athletes, or they can go through rehab and all that stuff. But I don't know that that's preventative. You know what I mean? Like, is that more training staff, the strength and conditioning, like soft tissue things? I think there's validity to that. But some stuff like Demario Davis getting a hamstring, Kendra Miller's hamstring, Eric McCoy's groin, like a lot of that soft tissue stuff, that makes you wonder, like, are you warmed up properly? I mean, with guys like McCoy and Davis, you certainly know that they are, I don't know, man. That might be a little misplaced blame. Patrick, who you got? Mizzou A&M could be a classic. I like A&M at home. I just think they're the more physical team. Chihuahua 1, good morning. Tim Gotro, good morning. Make defense great again. Matt, do you think the run blocking by LSU's offensive line has gotten better? Seems like early in the season they tried to block standing straight up. Yeah, I think Brian Kelly has really been very transparent in telling us they were trying to run against stacked boxes early. And that's why they threw it a ton. And against South Alabama, they got a more fair look up front, and so they ran the ball. I think it's hard to run block when you're facing 7 and 8 and 9 man boxes. Charlie Cavell, good morning. Daniel, yeah. Oh, yeah, Jordan too. Jordan. Yeah, there've been a lot of walk-offs. But again, that was the worst. The first, that was the first, as we mentioned. Pete Alonso's was the first when the team was trailing in the 9th or later. Chance, new Scone T seems less chaotic with setup. Don't see patrons. Well, my suggestion was, like, we could turn the camera. So they have if you've never been to Curbside, they have a little like deck, and they have a setup on the deck. So we're looking out at the area where everybody's sitting. And there was a lot of people there last night. I said we could turn it so people could see the setting behind us, and all the people and everything like that. So we may do that. I would actually be more in favor of that. I think it's better to look at than just like a sign, us against a wall. But curbside's great, man. If you've never been to curbside, you really should go. It's weather was great last night. Food's great. The outdoor area is fantastic. Kids can go run around. It's fenced in. So parents, you want to have a beer, let mom have a glass of wine. They have like frosés as well. And then they got stuff for the milkshakes for the kids and all this. Curbside's a great spot right there in Mid-City. Rex, Jason H, Abner Neal, good morning. Justin, if Nuss comes back, you lose Collins or Hurley. Probably in the same way that when Daniels came back, you lost Walker Howard. So, yeah, I mean, that's why you have to recruit a quarterback every year. You cannot skip a cycle in signing a quarterback for that reason. You've got to make sure your depth at that position stays, stacked. Matt's going to drop the Browns off at the Super Bowl. Oh, you mean when I just jumped up? Were you talking about going to the bathroom? No. So every day at 7:30. So we do the show until 7:45. This is very regimented. So I start at 7:15, unless if there's a day where I'm a minute late or so. At 7:30, I go turn. Drew has a sound machine. I turn the sound machine off in his room, turn the light on to get him stirring. I finish this at 7:45, get him out of bed so I get him dressed. We're out of the house by 8. Like this is very regimented here. This is like a kickoff of an LSU game. When you look at the times of interest, they know the exact time that like the team walks down the hill, down to the minute when the team comes out of the tunnel, down to the minute that the coin is tossed, down to the minute that the game is kicked off. Spurge, good morning. Thomas, 3 mornings in a row without the Parrish jingle. Well, I don't want to overdo it to where people are disappointed, Thomas, but ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find.
Construction and roofing. At Parrish, we got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Parrish built. Parrish built. Parrish built. From your hometown. ParrishBuilt.com.
Sambo. If Nuss going round one, he definitely ain't coming back. Agreed. Morning, Matt. Good morning. Good morning. Randall, anyone see the face mask the Bucs drive in the fourth quarter through the flag called holding instead? Looks like you upped your game with that mic. This is an RE20. This is the mics that we have in studio for 104.5 ESP. This is a studio radio microphone. It's got this, got a soundboard, got StreamYard with the graphics and all. Yes, we've done well. The new Matt Shuffle. There you go, Thomas. All right, y'all. Let's see. Anything else? As a reminder, Brock and Parrish, you need North Peace, go to Brock. Friday night clinic, free Friday night clinic tonight for high school athletes. Parrish would love to give you a free, no obligation roofing inspection, ParrishBuilt.com. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Book a session with Crystal Poche and Unique Physique. Announced this week they've lowered prices on both semaglutide and tirzepatide. They already had the lowest prices. They lowered prices again on semaglutide and tirzepatide. So it's those are the weight loss shots, the once a week injection help with weight loss. If you want to learn more, you can do the whole thing over telemed. They can ship your medicine anywhere in the country, so you never have to go into the office. Lowest prices, never any contracts. And again, just this week they lowered prices on both semaglutide and tirzepatide. So check them out. Uniquephysique.com. Uniquephysique.com. Hey, all right. Thanks for sharing about Parrish. Help my sister with mold issues. So, of course, we got the restoration side of Parrish as well. So happy to help there. If you have mold, think you might. Parrish Restoration. Same website, ParrishBuilt.com. Just hit the restoration tab. Matt, would it be possible to get Sean Fazand on? Yes. And you did spell his name wrong. Fazende is Fazand. Yeah, we get Sean back on the show. Love having Sean on the show. He's great. Been a great friend and contributor to the show for a long time. Okay, y'all, let's wrap this thing up. Y'all have an awesome day. Thanks so much for being there. YouTube, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Thanks for watching Morning Scone. Now jump over to Locked on LSU, if you would, podcast or YouTube. Please check it out. We'd appreciate it. And we'll see y'all for AFR 3.